Down, 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 down. Hello. The other day I was at work talking with a buddy. I've worked there for like a week, so I don't know anybody that well yet. But anyway, this guy, we were getting to know each other at work, and the conversation got to the point where I asked him what he had done. What is one thing I said? This is what I said. I said, what is one thing you have done that you don't think anybody has ever done? And after I asked that, I was like, well, people always spin my questions around back at me, even though I don't know what I try to do. I try to think of questions that are unique. And then I have to hurry up and think of something as fast as I can to try to answer the question before they ask it, So I was thinking, and there's one story that I think that I've done that probably nobody else has done. At least not exactly this way. So, several years ago, story is starting now. That was a backstory to the story. So, story is now. I was with my brother out in the middle of the desert waiting to be turned into a zombie. We were on a movie set, and I was not the first one into the makeup trailer. I was actually the last one. There was like 10 of us. So outside the makeup trailer was a table full of snacks. And I was sitting there eating the snacks because I didn't have to get my makeup on for a while. So I'm sitting there eating these snacks like gummy bears and peanuts. The zombies start coming out of the makeup trailer, and it was so disgusting. I felt like I had to barf. For reals. Like, I'm gonna be there all day in the desert surrounded by this disgusting group of zombies. Wow, it was really gross. Anyway, we looked like meatloaf, ground up meatloaf, and we smelled like that liquid latex smell. It's just so gross. I hate it. I hate liquid latex. It makes me gag. So we smelled like that. So, anyway, they come out of the trailer, and I'm sitting there eating peanuts, and all of a sudden I can't eat anymore. My appetite is gone because these guys are so gross. I can't even describe it. Anyway, so I get into my turn, and I'm sitting there in the makeup chair, and this guy is like putting liquid latex all over my face, and fake blood, and toilet paper, or something that just looks like nasty peeling skin. Then he puts this turban on my head because we're actually Middle Eastern zombies. Terrorist zombies. Yep. Yeah, I had a turban, and I looked like a ground up meatloaf. And they actually, so my brother, I mentioned my brother, he was there, Sam. They gave us nicknames. We were like the only two zombies that had nicknames. They're like, you over there, you got the purple face. You're gonna be called Purple Face. You over there, you're so good you're gonna be called Pizza Face because your face looks just like a pizza. And that was me. I was Pizza Face. That's what I look like. I want you to just picture this. I look like a ground up pizza. Okay? And I have a turban on. And the makeup lady, she doesn't like anybody touching her stuff. She's like, don't touch my stuff. Don't touch your turbans. Don't touch your costumes. I got it, okay? And you don't got it because you're not the costume lady. So we're walking around waiting to go on set, and everybody, there's 10 of us zombies, something like that. There's something like 10 of us or something, and our turbans keep falling off because the costume lady doesn't know how to tie a turban. Okay, but I do know how to tie a turban because I learned. I learned from somebody who knew. Flashback, a couple years earlier, I was in France. Okay. I was in France on a mission for my church, Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, to be specific. And I was on an exchange, which meant, like, this is so hard to try to explain quickly. Anyway, I was with a missionary that wasn't usually with. I was just with him for one night. We kind of like traded colleagues for the night to see how each other worked and that kind of thing. So what happened is we do our planning for the night, like what we're going to try to do tomorrow and where we're going to try to go and talk to people. And planning gets over. We're getting ready for bed, and this other guy, he says, I'm like, we're going to bed, right? And he says, do you want to learn how to tie a turban? And I was like, what? We're out here to talk to people about Jesus, and I'm really tired and I want to go to bed, but okay, why not? He knew how to tie a turban because his dad was Middle Eastern, and long story. But anyway, so we take our bed sheets and we twist them around and make turbans, and we spend like an hour making turbans, and they're like really good looking turbans too. This guy was good at making turbans. So anyway, I knew how to make a turban, and I'm sitting there making turbans with this guy, and I had this flashback. Oh boy. This flashback to when I was really little. Really little. I hope I was little. I was like 5. No. I was sharing a room with Sam, that brother. Same brother. I have lots of brothers, but this story just has Sam in it a lot, I guess. He's like 3 years younger than me. And so he was probably like 5 or more, which means I was at least 8. We're going to say I was 7, so that I feel better about this story. Anyway, flashback to when I was little. I was really little, and Sam was even littler. We used to stay up all night, probably till like 9 o'clock. I don't know when my mom would send us to bed. Probably like 7 or 8, but we would stay up until and play games in the dark until we'd both fall asleep. And one of those games was a game where we would like make turbans out of our blankets and sheets and stuff. And it was like a sultan game or a genie game. I think I was the genie. And so I was always making turbans. Or he was the genie. I don't know. He can probably tell you. Because no, for both of us it was like 20 years ago, so I don't even know. Flash forward. All these zombies are walking around and their turbans are all falling off. And every time I try to help somebody, the costume lady is like right behind me. Like I pick up the turban off the ground, and the lady's like, "Ah! Don't touch those turbans! Those are my turbans, and you don't even know how to do it. And I am the costume lady." Yeah, okay. So I'm trying really hard not to touch the turbans. But I know that she doesn't know how to tie it, and they're just going to fall off again. And so one time my turban falls off, and I go behind this car, and I tie my turban really nice and tight, and it looks sweet. And so I'm walking around, and everybody else's turbans are falling off, and mine's not falling off, because I'm a professional turban guy. And I learned from a real turban tire. Later, the other zombies come up to me in secret, and they're like, "How'd you get your turban to stay on?" I was like, "I don't know." This is how zombies talk, okay? "I don't know how it stays on. I just tied it like a professional turban guy." But then they would come to me and I would tie them in secret. And anyway, now nobody's turbans are falling off except the couple of them who were like, we gotta respect the costume lady. At one point, Osama bin Laden, zombified, is like the main bad guy in this story, in the movie. And the costume lady has been trying to tie his turban for like 3 hours, right? And it keeps falling off. And they're trying to film. He's on set, and they're rolling, and his turban keeps falling off. And at one, I feel bad that I went behind her back, the costume lady's back, and I tied my own turban. But I felt worse that the director was frustrated. Osama didn't have a good turban, and it broke my heart. It broke my heart. So I go up to the director. I don't think I even talked to the costume lady because she freaked me out. I went to the director and I whispered to him. I said, hey. And remember, I look like a meatloaf, okay? Like a pizza, a ground up pizza meatloaf with like goop coming off my face and like blood and peeling toilet paper skins. And I'm like, come up right behind him and I'm like, hey, guess what? I tied my own turban and it has not fallen off in like 2 hours. All day. Pretty much all day since I tied it. I only tied it once. Would you allow me to try to tie Osama's turban, his hat, so it don't fall off no more? The director's like, yes, please do. That would be great. So I go over there and I unwrap his whole turban. Unwrapping it, and then I'm rolling it back up and tying it around his head, and voila! His turban is beautiful. Mwah. Didn't fall off anymore. Yeah. If you watch the movie, then I tied that, and that was, I guess that whole story was a story about how something I've done that I don't think anybody else has probably done, except for the costume lady, because it was her job. But I got paid. I'm not going to tell you how much I got paid, but I got paid to sit in the desert and look like a meatloaf and tie Osama bin Laden's turban. Probably shouldn't say that in public. Well, I don't know how to end these, so down, 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 down.